Everyone is recognizing that the reason that we do not get off of fossil fuels is because it is extremely profitable. That is the number one reason. And yet, as we have been pointing out, for those who still don't believe that climate change is real and that it's caused by human activity, you need look no further than the fact that insurance companies believe it's real. And what was anticipated as a hurricane that was going to basically border between a hurricane, a Cat 2, maybe a Cat 3, is already a Cat 5 in less than 24 hours from being a tropical storm. You know how that happens? When the water is too fucking hot. And this is in August. This is October that this is happening.
It's bad.
And this should scare the shit out of everybody.
Scares me.
This is not just, and this is the
welcome to our Russian roulette that we play every year in South Florida.
And it's never been like this in Florida. You would have to anticipate a major hurricane coming through Florida once every 3 to 5 years. Now you're getting multiple every year.
Not only that, look how far inland. It's the
other thing.
The level of destruction inland is just
there is
out
a
of
chance
control.
That if the storm winds right now in the middle of the Gulf sit at 175 miles an hour. If this runs through Tampa at the speed that it's moving at right now, and it maintains its strength,
it's over.
It's Homestead all over again. Because it's east to west, just like Hurricane Andrew.
Well, Andrew was east to west, not west to east.
Not like most hurricanes, which go north to south. This is east to west. This is going to go right over the state, and it's going to crush Tampa. Going to crush it. But please, continue to deny this to the point at which you can't afford to live. And there are 3 million people that live in Tampa.
I'd be leaving.
You know how many people are going to get
I'm concerned. I need to call my aunt.
Listen, I've told my father, get the fuck out of there, because he's over in Naples. Now, even though Naples is probably out of the direct shot of the storm by at least 100 miles,
we don't really know.
Want to take a chance?
I'm not psyched on where we are even.
I'm getting on a plane early tomorrow morning and I'm going to the Panhandle. Now, thankfully, that's on one part because of business, and another part, it's completely out of the way of the storm. But we're getting to the point where we're really going to have a traveling crisis in this country because people are going to be running away from storms.
Well, evacuating is a really big problem here.
And we're on a peninsula.
Which is why I wouldn't have an electric car down here.
Think about if you're in Tennessee or North Carolina. We'll use Tennessee as an example. It's a landlocked state, and it's surrounded by 8 other states. You can go. There are many different directions you can go. When you're all the way down here in Florida on the Lint-Dick part of the state,
you're screwed.
You're screwed.
I tried to get out that one time, and I ended up getting stuck on the highway in gridlock around like Fort Pierce, and I turned around and came home. Meanwhile, it was like 6 hours it took me to go nowhere.
Sissy, I'm glad that you got out.
Good.
And it's a smart move.
No, a Cat 5. Truth is, Cat 3, I'm wanting out.
But here's the thing. They said that it was maybe going to get to a 3. It was likely going to be a 2. It's already a 5.
Wait till it hits what they have to now make up as a 6. Because that's coming. There will have to be higher.
And anybody who thinks I don't know what this is all about, I do know what this is all about because I lived through Hurricane Sandy.
That wasn't a hurricane. It was a superstorm.
A superstorm. Now, let me tell you, the one thing you will never forget, not having any power and literally living like you're in the 1700s, where I had a candle and a book, that's what I did because that's all you can do.
No, it's brutal. The post-apocalyptic feeling after hurricane is horrible. It's horrible.
Yeah, you want to see what my backyard looked like after that storm? But let me tell you, you don't forget the aftermath of the storm, and you don't forget what it's like when the eye is near you and you can hear it. When you can hear that wind, that suction, that...
It's very scary.
It's scary.
It's very scary. Hurricanes are scary, and they last for a really long time. It's not like an earthquake where it's over like in less than a minute. You know, Hurricane Andrew was scary.
And this is where we constantly have to tell people that the proof is in the pudding. That this planet is too hot because the water is too hot. And that is where storms gain their strength. Now, you can pretend like this is fake news or that it's unproven facts, whatever. But the consistency doesn't lie. And if one of these storms now makes it to Europe, oh boy. Because you want to talk about a part of the world that is not prepared for this shit.
No. Like if a hurricane level storm hit like the Canary or hit like the Canary Islands off of Spain, like it would be a whole different thing.
These buildings in Spain and France, in many cases, are thousands of years old. They're done.
Yeah.
We have a mini moth flying around. At least it's not a queen wasp. It wasn't even a queen bee. It was a queen wasp
or a giant flying roach.
Yeah.
This is just something.
Well, that's the thing about Florida. You just have to be prepared for all possibilities.
And I'll tell you what, people seriously, after hurricane, people think they want to go out and walk through the streets in the water. There are gators in it, my friend. There are gators swimming up the streets. And I will tell you, like, this is something that we say in Florida. How do you know there's a gator in the water? You walk over, you touch it. If it's wet, there's alligators in it. That's how you know. And let me tell you, there were gators swimming around in like Fort Myers or Naples or wherever that last flooding took place.
Even if you're not fucking with us right now, Metal, and even if you're being genuine, and I'll give you the benefit of the doubt that you're being genuine, the United States is still the lone cowboy out there. If we decide that it's time, it's time.
Well, China and India are definitely, it's a huge issue because even if we do everything right, those are definitely the larger populations. But the United States accounts for a way disproportionately high share of consumption and pollution.
We do.
That's mostly us. It's us. And a large part of it is the military industrial complex, followed pretty closely by big ag. So the way to really handle it is to stop all the wars. That would be the first big step.
And especially for the liberals out there with their Ukraine and Israel flags in their bio, let me assure you, you are the biggest aiding and abettors of climate change.
You know how many of them probably drive Teslas, though? They've got their little Ukrainian flag hanging out of their Tesla.
Mm-hmm. But as I have pointed out, and as you've pointed out, we need degrowth.
I have another theory as well about how we need to deal with storms, but people aren't going to necessarily like it because, again, it's not necessarily convenient. But the reality is, any city, any place like where we live that was dredged of water in order to build upon it.
Florida's a swamp.
Any place where we had to dredge the water, build canals to build on it is not working with the earth. It's conquering the earth. And you will eventually lose that fight.